Wait, come back. There, you found me. It's Mitch's Fake Radio. Hey, this is John Doe, host of the John Doe, I don't know, radio show that happens Sunday nights, midnight till 2 a.m. right here on the Strange Friends Media broadcast, whatever they call it here. I'm filling in for Mitch. He called me the other day. I don't know how he got my number because my number's unlisted. You don't just get somebody's number. He's got to know somebody. Maybe he's connected. I don't know. But anyhow, he calls me. He says, hey, Mitch, can you do me a favor? Can you fill in for me for a few minutes? You know, I says, yeah, I can do it. I don't know what his deal is. I don't know if he's having van troubles or he's got flat on his bicycle or what. Or maybe he's having women problems at home. I don't know. I don't know much about the guy. I don't want to know much about the guy. He's kind of a mystery to me. He walks around. He's like some sort of like management or something. He's kind of like a bigwig. I think like after Joey left, he like slipped in there. He's kind of slimy. I'm just getting a feeling he's kind of like that. And he slipped right in there. He's always cracking jokes. The guy thinks he's a fucking comedian or something like that. You know? What's the deal with that guy? I don't know. But I'm glad to fill in for him. It's I don't mind doing it. He said he slipped me a few bucks. I can take that because I'm on assistance. I used to work for the city of Detroit, and I fell into it was a maintenance. Fell into a manhole because I've been working down there, and I forgot to put the manhole cover on, and I was backing up to take a picture of my buddies. They were standing on a fire hydrant, other, maintenance guys, and I backed up and fell in the manhole. So they don't know about I didn't put the cover back on. But anyhow, I'm on assistance, so the money, I appreciate that. It's a good thing to have a few extra bucks there, I'm glad to come in here, help out, play some music, maybe. I love music. It's in my heart, in my soul. I'm very connected to the musicians. I know so much about them and so many of them and so many great bands and great songs, man. I remember this one song, 14 minutes long. It was a great song. I was working at a radio station. I actually left the radio station. Got on my GS 850 Suzuki. I would drive down to the Pantry Party store, down the block, get off, go inside, buy these two very strange pinkish, like they were like pink hot dogs. I'm sure there's pieces of that shit still in my colon from 1987. But anyhow, I make up two hot dogs. I put some very runny chili on them and some onions that have become translucent. I don't know why. They weren't cooked. But anyhow, I put lots of onions on it. I set it on the bike seat of my motorcycle. I got a big orange slushie, and I drive back to the radio station before that song is done. 14-minute song. You know what else I call that song? I'll go take a shit song. I got a couple of those stored away right up here. And I will go in the bathroom and take a nice long crap and get out before the song is done. It's pretty nice. One time I set an alarm clock for 21 minutes on a 22-minute song. It was perfect. Got a little catnap. Why not, Take a little break. Enjoy myself a little bit. Stretch out a little bit, So this ain't bad. This ain't bad. I don't really know what he does with this fake radio thing. I don't know why he calls it fake radio. This is a regular studio. There's concert posters. There's lots of records. There's some old 8-tracks and some carts. That's what we used to call them back in radio back in the day, carts. This is when you put the commercials on. And look, there's a bong. That's a bong. That's a 4-foot bong. And that thing was probably used a lot just in the last week or so, somewhere like that. I don't know what he's talking about. Fake. I don't know where I get this whole fake radio thing from. But anyhow, I think I'm about ready to play some music for you. I got a great song for you. Check this one out. Yeah, go ahead there. That's a great song, man. That's a great song. That's an artist that comes to us from where God, I can't remember where that guy came from. He's a really good one though. In fact, he used to be in a band with this other guy that did just a little more up tempo song. Check this one out. Yeah, that's heavy, right? Yeah, that's like you get out on the interstate and you just open up your Ford Escort. You just floor that thing. See if you can get her up to about 80. You know what I'm saying? I got another one here. This one's good. This is a makeout music here.
Okay, John, I'm back. Oh, let me in there. I'm back. I'm ready to take over my show.
Yeah, I can keep going. I got some songs I can play over here.
Why do you have the door locked?
It's not
locked. The door
locked.
is locked.
No, it's not. I didn't got it locked.
Yeah, I just tried it. I can see right through the window, John. You've got a chair propped up against the door. What are you doing?
They must have fell against the door. I didn't do.
What do you move the chair?
Okay, I'll move the barricade. I'm moving the barricade. Get the fuck out of there, John. All right. You know what, Mitch Gill? You are a piece of shit, all right? I don't care if you are management or you're having woman problems at home. No, I'm not. That's none of my business, all right? No, you know what is my business? What? Never fucking helping you out again, piece of shit. Easy. You fucking weekender, part-time. Come on. Saturday morning AM DJ. I'm out of here. Oh, God. Boy, he was pissed. Man. Well, I appreciate him filling in for me for a couple of minutes there. I just was having, a personal issue. Needed to take care of some things. And so now I've got to pick up everything off the floor that's fallen down here. He gets really, really wound up. I've noticed that. I've watched him during his show because I've seen him do a couple of times where he couldn't remember the artist's name. So that's something else. Hey, coming up in a little bit is the first interview ever that we're going to have here on Strange Friends Media. I think you'll like it. It's with Bernie Comstein, and it's coming up I don't know, probably within the next few minutes here. So that's coming up. But
on Mitch's Fake Radio, we do weather on the 8th. That means 8 minutes after every hour, we do the weather. Here's Mitch and the weather.
Oh, geez. Okay. Yeah, the weather forecast looks like it's going to be mostly clear tonight, overnight low around 30. And tomorrow, there's going to be some clouds, possible chance of some rain in the afternoon with a...
For the latest up-to-the-minute forecast, listen to Mitch's Fake Radio. 8 minutes after every hour for the latest forecast with Mitch on Mitch's Fake Radio, right here on Strange Friends Media.
Okay. I guess I'm going to have to work on that weather forecast. There's just a certain amount of time I have to get the forecast in. I was kind of hoping that the service that produces that stuff would get, we call that a donut in radio. And what you try to do is you have an intro to it, and then you have some music in the middle to talk over, and then the end of it. And they really cut me short on that one. So, anyhow, I'll work on that weather forecast, see if I can get that a little bit better. There we go. Having some headphone issues. That's all right. You know what's funny is when you lose your headphones in radio, it's like it's like George Clooney in that space movie with Sandra Bullock when they were in outer space and you know, the rope got pulled there and the tether, and he just floated away. It was like Why did she do that? All she had to do is just give that thing a little quick tug and he would have floated back. But really kind of just cuts you completely off from reality when you can't hear what's happening on the radio. And my producer's picking up the papers that John Doe knocked onto the ground. Thanks, John. I really appreciate that. What a guy. Jeez. Oh, I guess what I'd like to talk about is my comedy shows coming up. They're coming up the 10th of November is my next Mitch Gill's Get a Room Comedy Club. But first, on the 9th, I wanted to talk about something special happening down in Lapeer. It is Solid State Live at the Pix. And it's really cool. It's a neat thing that Sean Cantwell and Adam Harahuck and Jill down at the Pix have put together this show to do once a month on Friday. I think it's the second Friday of the month, 7 p.m. It's a live free show. And I host it. I do some stand-up comedy. We bring out another comedian to do some. This time around, it's Diego Atanasio is his last name. He's a very funny comedian. I've worked with him several times. And then we're going to have a musical guest, which is former frontman for the band Salter. It's Kenneth Pops Jones. He's going to be performing. And that is Friday, November 9th at the Pix in Lapeer, 7 p.m. free show. It is 1 hour. So come on out and hang with us for an hour. It's going to be a blast. Then I like to go eat chicken wings at Wood Chips across the street. And I will do that again. So that'll be cool. And then the next night is Mitch Gill's Get a Room Comedy Club. Very excited about that. This one's going to be great. I got some awesome comics. Colton Cole coming from Indiana. Super funny guy. Alan Black from Detroit. Adam Vandergak. How's that for a name? Adam is from Bay City. And my good friend Nick Ladorf from Lansing. He's a lawyer from Lansing. And he is a defense lawyer. So he's got some stories for you. They're really good. And headliner Mike Stanley. And he has got an edge to him. And he's a super funny guy. Tours all over the country. It's going to be a great show. That is Saturday, November 10th. And show starts at 8 p.m. The doors open at 6 p.m. It's only $15 to get in. We're helping out the, the Denmark Township Fire Department. They're raising money. They're going to do a 50-50 raffle that night. Come check it out. Also sponsored by Woody's Motel in Caro. Awesome motel, updated rooms, super clean, very friendly, free coffee. Whole 9 yards. Awesome place. Great show. It's going to be a blast. So this is pretty cool having episode 6. Can you believe it? I can't believe that it's already happened. It's just moving along. 6 months I've been doing this. It's been very exciting. I'm really enjoying it. I think I'm going to do a couple shout outs really quick because I wanted to do some and mention some people that have listened. My friend Loretta listened. Thank you, Loretta. Rachel, she is a repeat offender. She's listened several times. I'm going to do a couple quotes from Rachel. I talked to Rachel on the phone and she says, Mitch, I listened to all of episode 5. I loved it. There's one quote. Next quote is, I think my life is even better from listening to it. Second quote. Third quote, I think I'm even more regular in the bathroom from listening to it. First, I thought, what the fuck is she talking? Oh my gosh, she's talking about being more regular in the bathroom because that's what I mentioned several episodes ago. So, and Jim, the keyboardist, he listens too. So thank you very much to and my friend Brian, he also listens. And Sasha is listening as well. She's listening right now. Wow. Sasha is stepping out because she could be missing must see TV or something like that. It could be reruns of Friends on TBS. Who knows? I don't know. All right. What time is it? 15 minutes after. All right. So there's my shout outs. I wanted to say that. And a couple things about later in this show. We're going to hear from Balls, have a little chat with Balls a little bit later. that's going to be cool. And an interview, my very first interview with Mr. Bernie Comstein. He's got a very important thing that he's talking about. That's coming up in just another couple of minutes from right now. I wanted to talk about my day job. I have a day job. I don't know if they want me to mention where I work. Probably I work at a brain injury facility right here in Caro. There's just not many of those, and I love my job. I'm well suited for it. I'm coming up on my 10-year anniversary. That's going to be on December 10th. 10 years, longest job I've ever had in my life. I seem to get displaced from jobs occasionally. No, I just have real bad ADD. And I fall into holes sometimes. No, that's the other guy. So anyhow, I like my job. It's great. In fact, I was working with a client, if you want to call that, an individual the other day. He is nonverbal. He does not speak due to the terrible accident he was in. And I said to him the other day, I said, we have to go. You have an appointment at 2 p.m. And he looked at me and he acknowledged. And I said, it's important because it is your speech therapy. And we have to be there at 2 p.m. Your therapist said it is crucial that we are punctual. We cannot be late. I'm not saying she's a bitch. I'm just saying I really don't think you want to piss her off. So it'd be a really good idea if you show up on time at 2 p.m. for speech therapy. And I look back at my client and he is bouncing. He's gyrating because he's laughing. He thought that my little voice I did for him was quite humorous. So, and then he proceeded to wipe all the spit off of his face because I had kind of covered about a 4-foot area by saying things like speech therapy. Whoa, that windsock is soaked on this microphone. All right, we're going to take a quick break here and come back with my very first interview with Mr. Bernie Comstein. That's coming up next. Please stay tuned to Mitch's Fake Radio. Get the latest news, sports, weather, and traffic on the 8s on Mitch's Fake Radio, only on Strange Friends Media. All right, it's time for my very first interview with someone other than my cat Balls. On the line with us right now is Bernie Comstein. I hope I'm saying that right. Spokesperson for an organization that he founded here in, June of 2018, the Association for the Preservation of American Values. Welcome to Mitch's Fake Radio, Bernie.
Oh, well, thank you very much, dear Mark.
It's Mitch.
Sorry about that, Matt. Yeah, it's tough to get an interview on the radio these days. I called over there to Lush Rimbrah. He said no. I talked to Graham Beck. He said no. In fact, he screamed no. He was crying no. It took 5 minutes. We could have done the whole interview in that amount of time.
Not much luck, huh?
No, not at all. Now, that's the conservative shows. I went over to the liberal side of the tracks. I called Rachel Madrow. She said no. Thom Hartman. He said no. Sam Cedar. No.
Maybe it's because you got every one of their names wrong.
No, not at all. In fact, I even called The Daily Show. They said no. But if that Stephen Colbert was still hosting that show, then he would have talked to me because he'd understand what I'm talking about.
Well, Mr. Comstein.
Comstein.
Excuse me?
It's Comstein. It's Jewish.
All righty then, Mr. Comstein. What are the American values you think need to be preserved as you do so in the Association for the Preservation of American Values?
That's a great question there, Mike. Are you American?
Yes.
Where was you born?
Pontiac, Michigan.
Oh, Pontiac. I got some memories about Pontiac.
American values, Mr. Comstein?
Oh, yeah, that. Well, Marv, what do you feel that you value in your life as an American?
I like my bike.
Your bike? How old are you?
I'm 54.
You're 54? You ride a bike? What's the matter? Can't you afford a car?
I have a van.
A van? That's creepy.
I haul equipment in it.
It's still weird. A single 54-year-old man rides a bike, drives a van. Stay the hell away from my yard.
Okay. What are the advantages of joining the Association for the Preservation of American Values? It says here it's $29.99 a month to join the association.
You get to enjoy your freedoms, your values, that you hold close and near dear to your heart. That's as an American. That's what you get.
But what do you get? You mean you get like a tote bag or a commemorative cup or a chip clip or is there a banquet?
I probably got some stuff I can mail out around here. You're going to have to include postage. You're going to have to send a self-addressed stamp envelope or something like that. But there's no banquet, no. Now, if you want to come over, you cook out in the yard, you leave your van at home. But you can bring some stuff. Bring some Molson Canadian beer. That's good stuff.
That's Canadian beer. What about American beer to go with your American values?
That's what I value is. I like Canadian beer. I love that stuff. I love Canada. Canada's great. I might even move there someday.
Okay, well, that does it. That's my first interview ever. Thank you very much to Mr. Bernie Kumstain, spokesperson for the Association for the Preservation of American Values. Thanks for being on Mitch's Fake Radio.
It's my pleasure, Murphy.
If you like listening to Mitch's Fake Radio, you should try the Don't Make This Weird podcast, airing Thursday nights at 8 o'clock, right here on Strange Friends Media. Don't Make This Weird has great hosts like Heather.
Your mom said it was a pretty song, but now she's sad.
And Tony.
I have not had my own room in 20 years.
And Chris.
He's fucking amazing.
And really cool guests.
Probably some pedal steel, maybe some cello, stuff like that. It's
the Don't Make This Weird podcast. Thursday nights at 8 o'clock, right here on Strange Friends Media. Oh, wow. Yeah, that was cool. That was a great interview. Wasn't that fun? Bernie, he's a very interesting character. I wonder, maybe I'll do a follow-up with him at some point. That would be kind of fun to see where his organization has gone in terms of growth and say a year, maybe 6 months or something. Maybe episode 9 or 10, something like that. I'm just forecasting that it's very possible that this could last longer, maybe, And speaking of growth and shout outs, I wanted to do one more shout out to my friend Linda. Linda is my ex-girlfriend from 1990. Yeah, that's a long time ago. Let's do the math. I think that's right around 28 years. Isn't that something like that? Yeah, it's a long time ago. She's a wonderful woman, and she's out of jail, and that's great. No, I'm just kidding. She was never in jail. She's awesome, and she said she listened and she enjoyed it, and she said, you say your name a lot. I'm like, well, yeah, of course I do. I said, Linda, that's part of branding. If you're going to get anywhere in life, you got to push your brand, and my brand is Mitch Gill. My brand is Mitch Gill's Get a Room Comedy Club and Mitch's Fake Radio and Mitch Gill Wedding DJ right there and Mitch Gill Paperboy. I do all of it, and I've got to, wind up, using my name a lot. And I, used to say my name. She used to say it. She still says it now. We're back talking and she says it. And, it's like, it's not hard to say. It's like I said, say my name, Mitch, and so she said it. So anyhow, that's cool. Hi, Linda. Thanks a lot for listening. I appreciate it. She said she really enjoyed me singing like Al Stewart from a few episodes ago. You remember? Time passages. You're in there, but you're just out of sight. Oh, time passages. Buy me a ticket on the last train home tonight. That's for you, Linda. Glad to do that. So what have I been up to? You know what? Back on the 19th of this month, I went to see comedian Ben Bailey, host of the TV show Cash Cab. I may have mentioned I was going to go see him. And I did see him, and he was fantastic. Great time, great show. He did a he does a pretty big chunk of his act is about being mistaken for Dirty Jobs host Mike Rowe. And they get those two guys mixed up all the time. So he does a lot of really good jokes about that. And I told my boss, Misty, a few days before going to see him, I said, hey, I'm going to see TV show Cash Cab host, comedian Ben Bailey in concert at the State Theater in Bay City. And she's like, oh, that's cool. That'll be a lot of fun. And a couple of seconds of silence goes by and she says, I want to meet Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs. So I told Ben that in person the other night after the show, and he said, that's serious? Yeah, that happens all the time. Fucking Mike Rowe, he says. So he has to deal with that. It was funny. He did a lot of material on birds for some reason. Bunch of material on birds. And so after the show, I waited to get a picture with him, and I told him, I said, hey, I liked your bird material. That was really cool. And I said, when I was a kid, I got shit on right on my head by a bird. He says, oh man, I got pooped on too. I was just a kid. And he tells me this kind of long story about cutting through this guy Riley's yard. He never cut through his yard, but he was late for school. So he cut through it and he got crapped on and it hurt. He didn't know it was bird poop and it hit him right in the top of the head. And it was hard and it hurt. And he went to school, went to first hour, got out, and there was a basketball player taller than him, walked by him in the hallway and looked down on his head. He says, hey, you got bird shit on your head. He's like, what? So he goes in the bathroom and looks, and sure enough, there's a brown Hershey Kiss bird poop right on top of his head. And he said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hijack your story. I said, no, that's all right. And then I said, that's material right there. He's like, oh man, I could add that to my bird bit. And I said, yeah, you really should, just the way you told me. And he told it more animated, and it was, with a professional comedian style to it. And it was great. So maybe if you go see Mike Rowe and Ben Bailey in concert, and he talks about getting it shit on, then it'll be because of Mitch Gill. Yeah, I just said my name. So anyhow, I waited until everybody left and I said, Mike, not Mike, but Ben, I'd like to get a picture with you. And I said, I was here 2 years ago when you were in concert and got a picture and I just want to freshen it up, So I pulled up my old picture. I showed it to him and I goes, oh shit, I wore the same clothes. I had the same hat and shirt. He laughed hard. He said, was that a mistake? Was that freak? Did you mean to do that? I says, yeah, it's a 2-year joke. I've been waiting to play this on you for 2 years. So he loved it. He thought it was great. Great concert. Please get out and see comedy. Go to shows like see Ben Bailey there. And whenever you can, get out and see it. In fact, you could go see Mitch Gill's Get a Room Comedy Club at the Brentwood Bowling Alley right here in Caro. And check that out on Saturday, November 10th. Tickets are $15. Showtime, 8 p.m. Mitch Gill is your host. That would be me, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, for sure. In fact, before the show is done, we'll give away a pair of tickets. How's that sound? To, I don't know, 29th caller, something like that. I don't have a phone number for the show yet, but we'll figure out one way or another to give away those tickets before the hour is up. Let's see. Wow. It's, I think I'm going to take a break here real quick, and we'll be back with more coming up next. A message from the Gluten-Free Advisory Board. Are you sluggish at work? Often feel somewhat clueless? I gotta send a fix to our Omaha branch. Do I do it face up or face down?
Face up, Marvin. Face up.
Okay.
Lift your head, Marvin. Look up here. Look up here.
What?
Good job, Marvin. I'll push send.
Are you tired and feel like there's just not much going on upstairs?
So you put the coffee in here first, then the filter?
Marvin, no. Forget it. That's going to be your pot of coffee.
This tastes gritty.
It's your fault, Marvin.
I want to mail my George Michael fan letter. Does it go in the outbox or in the inbox? The inbox, right?
Outbox, Marvin. George Michael's dad.
What?
I said outbox.
George Michael's dad.
You're still eating gluten, aren't you, Marvin?
Yeah, I just had a donut and my fingers are all sticky. It was yummy.
Eating wheat is making you stupid, Marvin.
I'm stupid.
Dumb as a bag of rocks. Bag of rocks, Marvin.
When humans eat wheat, it causes brain fog, drowsiness, and weight gain. And quite frankly, makes you dumb as a bag of rocks.
I like rocks. If you lick them, you can see the colors. Where's the bag?
To learn more about the harmful effects of gluten that comes from eating wheat, read the book Wheat Belly by cardiologist Dr. William Davis and listen to Mitch's Fake Radio, a message from the Gluten-Free Advisory Board and this program.
Thank you, announcer guy.
You're welcome. Playing the hits while you're spraying those pits. It's Mitch's Fake Radio in the morning on Strange Friends Media. It's not even morning. Who's spraying the pits? I don't even play hits. That's the dumbest bumper I've ever heard. I am so glad this is fake. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Whew. Well, it's good to hear from the Gluten-Free Advisory Board. They're helpful messages. I think they improve lives. I really do. I really do. I love doing this podcast. It's great. I love the medium of it. I love the freedom that I have to dig as deep as I want into a subject, or to keep it light and simple and, get silly or deep, whatever. I love that. I love that freedom, that flow. Yeah, I think it really boils down to, for podcasts and me, is chemistry. It's that back and forth between me and me. I like that. It's just it's really what I like about that about podcasts. It's really cool. I was thinking recently about, should I keep a diary? Because it's kind of haunted me over the years, diaries have, and if I should keep one or not, I'm not sure. But the problem with diaries is I'm afraid somebody's going to read it. If I'm riding my girl's bike and I get run over by a beat truck and I'm flattened, somebody's going to go in my house and read my diary. And they're going to read all kinds of super personal stuff and all that. And I really, I don't want that stuff to get out. I think that the person that was reading it would start reading it, and they get like 3 pages in, they'd be like, I can't handle it. I can't handle it. The guy with the bicycles and the podcast and his cat balls. I can't do it. I just can't handle it. I can't listen anymore. I'm going to drive into a brick wall on the way home. I'm going to burn these diaries. That's the only thing I can do. So I probably shouldn't do a diary, because this podcast really sort of is kind of like a diary. I'm pouring my heart and soul out to everyone on the internet. All 4 people that tune in are learning about 6, you say? All 6 people are tuning in, learn about my life and the things that I do on a, regular basis, in terms of going to Hell's Half Mile Film and Music Festival. I'm wearing my hoodie. See that? So the podcast kind of works in that manner, to almost be like a diary, if you will. I know I would write about Goodwill. I went to Goodwill actually today, believe it or not, and I bought a couple of cool things. I bought a lamp with a flexible arm on it and a clamp so you can hook it to the edge of a table. The lamp. And then what I'm going to do, it's a metal clamp. So I'm going to drill a hole in that, and I'm going to put my other flexible arm that has my magnifying glass hooked on it. So I'll have the lamp and the magnifying glass on the same metal clamp. That's going to be really cool for when I'm, putting pins and watch, bands and stuff like that, or if I have to solder something, that's going to be really cool. So I bought the lamp, and I bought an undershirt to go under my golf shirts at work. And the third thing, I always forget the third thing when I go to Goodwill. I forget. I've forgotten the third thing, and then like a couple days will go by, and I'll forget. I'll never remember what the third thing was that I bought because they don't say what it is on the receipt. They say it's green or blue or orange or new goods, and it was a Samsonite computer bag. I was going to buy it for Heather. I saw it for Heather. And then I realized last week I bought a used Dell computer and I don't have a bag for it. And I said, sorry, Heather. So Heather's one of my producers here at Strange Friends Media. So she is shit out of luck. I'll have to go back and find her another one at Goodwill. Or I might just fashion her a new handle for her leopard print computer bag. She's saying thumbs up to that. So I can probably fix that. I don't think there would be any issues for me to do that. So that's some fun stuff. I guess we could probably take a quick break and then come back with more stuff. We're going to hear from Balls before the hour is out, and it seems to be ripping by. So let's take a quick break, and we'll be back in a minute. This segment of Mitch's Fake Radio is brought to you by Mitch's Kitchen. In every trip to Mitch's Kitchen, you'll hear Mitch as he walks you through the preparation of his own recipes of healthy, delicious dishes that can be made in minutes with inexpensive ingredients and minimal experience. Mitch's Kitchen has great food ideas for the mom on the go or the single guy that lives alone and only has to cook for himself because everybody else left and moved out. But that's okay, because that means more leftovers for him. No need to make this personal, because Mitch will keep cooking for everyone else on the internet. Catch Mitch's Kitchen as it airs randomly during Mitch's Fake Radio. So the only way you can hear it is to listen to every single episode of Mitch's Fake Radio in its entirety. Fast forwarding is discouraged. Mitch's Kitchen, proud sponsor of Mitch's Fake Radio. Tune in Sunday mornings at 6 a.m. on Strange Friends Media for religious programming at its finest, as we hear from this week's guest speaker, Reverend Bishop Apostle James T. Murphy III, as he expounds upon repentance.
Can I get an amen?
You are thinking one way, but you got to be thinking the way Jesus do, because this is his way or the highway. I said, can I get an amen?
I said, can I get an amen?
If you enjoy this program and would like to donate or give tithes, as they say in the house of worship, then send your whole paycheck to Reverend Bishop Apostle James T. Murphy III, P.O. Box 989.
I'm so glad I don't have to go to church anymore.
Or
I
call
hated
1-866.
Hey, I bought a gun, Tony. Look at this. I got it from a guy on the street. It's loaded. I shouldn't do that. Put that in my
Strange
I
Friends
won't.
Media.
I'm sorry.
All right. Well, that sounds like a good radio show to listen to. Some good stuff there. So this is wild. I found a light bulb in my bed. I woke up the other day and this light bulb was laying next to me in bed. Very ominous. I thought, has somebody been in the house? First, I thought maybe I took it out, but then I thought, was it possibly a very energy conscious home intruder has come into my home and unscrewed my reading lamp that's hooked to my headboard and laid it next to me as a message, sending a message to me to buy energy efficient light bulbs? I don't know. It's kind of weird. I was kind of freaked out by it. You know, that's like sending a message like The Godfather sent a message to Jack Waltz, the movie producer in The Godfather. He cut off the guy's prize horse, his race horse, and put the bloody head in bed next to him just to send the message that the guy needs to put the Godfather's grandson into the movie. And he got the message, and he did put him into the movie. So me, on the other hand, I'm seriously thinking about buying energy efficient light bulbs because I don't want to wake up with the light bulb anymore. But that could have turned out horrible. No, I mean, think about that, because what if I'm laying there in bed, I've unscrewed the bulb, the lamp is on, and I inadvertently wet willy the socket? I could have electrocuted myself. Or what if I tried to fuck that light socket? What if I put my penis into the reading lamp and I would have to, and they came in and found me electrocuted? Because I'd have to put one foot on my pillow and the other foot on the headboard in order to put my penis into the reading lamp. And then and I'd be just burn out. And they'd come in and they'd smell hair. And I'd have Electric Light Orchestra, Evil Woman, chicka, 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 tune, on Spotify on my phone. And they'd find me in a ballet-like pose with my foot on the headboard. So, yeah. Guess where I got the energy efficient light bulbs? Goodwill. That's right. They sell them there. Be cool. Hey, let's do that. Let's give away those tickets. Let's give away a pair of tickets starting from like right. I'll tell you when. The first person to like and share Mitch's Fake Radio and send a message to my page saying Mitch Gill is awesome with an exclamation point. That person will get 2 tickets to the November 10th Mitch Gill's Get a Room Comedy Club at the Brentwood, featuring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 comedians, 5 talented, funny comedians, and then there's me. It's going to be cool. So the first person that does that, we're going to give them a set of tickets. The like, share, and send the message. Mitch Gill is awesome with an exclamation point. It'll probably be Linda. But she's in another state, so she's not going to probably come to my comedy show. But she might someday. She might. I would not discourage her from coming to my show. Wow. Can you believe it's already 8:42? That is bizarre, man. Time flies. I can't believe how fast it goes. So speaking of my comedy show, I went for a bike ride the other day to meet a guy at Speedway down by Subway and meet him in the parking lot there and sold him tickets to the show. Thank you. He's a repeat offender also. He's this is like 3rd time he's come to the show. So I sold him the tickets, and then I was leaving there. I was riding back on my bicycle, and I worked up a goober in my head, and I didn't want to take off my gloves and get the napkin out of my pocket to blow my nose. I was right in front of the Oven restaurant, and so I just put my left thumb on my left nostril and let it fly, and this big gelatinous snot glob came flying out right in front of the Oven. And I thought, those people didn't sign on for that. They came in to have some lasagna or something. And then they see me hawk this giant goober out onto the pavement. I felt very bad about that. The Oven, not a sponsor, I might add. And I apologize to anybody that I may have offended inside the Oven that was eating and saw that horrible display of snot. And 2 days later, true story, I'm watching cable TV for a few minutes at work, and I saw this low-level, big-time wrestling. It was on one of the smaller cable channels, and everything was like small scale. It was a small arena, small audience, not all the seats filled. So it almost seemed like this is a joke, but it was an actual show. I don't remember what wrestling group it was, but anyhow, these two like second-rate wrestlers are wrestling and throwing each other around. This one guy's walking around, he's got this real snarl on his face, and he walks around, and then I see him, he's all puffed up, lifts up his left arm and his left thumb to his left nostril and his pinky up in the air, pointing his right nostril at the audience, and goes, and this giant snot slinky comes flying out of his head, stretching from end to end. And the audience goes, ooh, like the 14 people that are there. And the guys in the black t-shirts right at the edge of the ring, they're laughing because it's hilarious. I'm thinking, I don't know if that's going to be his signature move, the snot slinky. That's not going to get him onto the WWF. I just don't see Ted Turner at TNT saying, I want him on my network.
That's that was some crazy stuff. Oh man, it's 8:45. We do have Balls coming up here shortly. It's a little chat I'm going to have with Balls. Going to talk about the issue with the barn when he was in the barn and Spencer was out there. Do you remember? And he sprayed right in front of Spencer. So we're going to talk about that, and that would be a real good thing to figure out what happened out there in the barn. Thought I'd mention one more fun thing. I went to Walmart last week, bought my items, got $20 cash out of the U-Scan, the self-checkout. Walked out, went home, got the receipt out of my pocket. But where's that $20? It was gone. I didn't take my money. I left it in the machine and walked away from $20. So I called Walmart. They gave me to the service desk and I told them what happened. And they said, what time were you here? I told them everything on the receipt, the timestamp and everything. They got me on camera right there. And so they said they'd look into it. I called back a few minutes late and they said someone turned it in. Isn't that cool? Kind of restored my faith in humanity a little bit. That I got my $20 back from Walmart. And then what was it? A month or two ago, I was at Pine Knob or DTE, lost my wallet with $50 cash in it, my debit card and all that stuff in it. That got returned too. I got that back. Even the 2 condoms that were in my wallet, those were in there. That was good. That was great. Remember I said that? I said it's a good thing that whoever almost stole my wallet didn't use those condoms because they've been in there since 8th grade. I think it's time to update my contraception in my wallet. But so there's, there is hope. There's hope. There's good people out there. There's decent people. Thank you. If you're listening person that turned in my $20, you're awesome. And I appreciate you. I would buy you a buffalo wing from the Walmart deli. Put a blue cheese dressing on it. So I have a whole bottle. I'm willing to share. It's chunky. Okay, so let's hear from that. I'm going to talk to Balls, my cat. Where is he? Here, Balls. Come here, kitty. Come on, come here. Balls, what was the deal with you being in the barn and you sprayed in front of Spencer?
Oh, that. Well, I had noticed that Spencer had been spending a lot of time in the barn with his friends, and I was merely demonstrating basic territorial dominance over the barn.
Why did you feel you had to do that?
Because I've had multiple generations of ancestors in and out of that barn over the last 108 years.
You're serious about this, aren't you?
Oh, quite serious. I probably wouldn't even be here if it weren't for that barn. It was quite the love palace back in the day.
Really? I had no idea I bought such a feline sexual hotspot.
You most certainly did. Oh, by the way, nice job having the Amish rebuild the barn and tear off those horse stalls. I have heard down from my great-great-great-great-great-grandfather that those horses were real dicks.
Spencer said he tried to get you to stop spraying, so he shoved you and he knocked you over, and you kept spraying. You didn't get any on yourself, and you kept eye contact with him the whole time. That's amazing.
Well, thank you. It's in my DNA as a feline to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. I'm like the Muhammad Ali of cats.
That's funny you should say that, because I said you were like the Jason Statham of cats.
Jason Statham. I'll take that. Muhammad Ali and Jason Statham. I'm not doing too bad at all.
No, you're not, Balls. You're pretty fucking cool. Oh, Balls. I love that cat. He's so cool. I was hanging out with him just tonight, as a matter of fact. And I opened the front door. I was getting ready to leave to come over here. I opened the front door and I hold open the screen door. I said, go on outside. You ate plenty. You're in good shape. Go on out. And he like looks and he stretches his front legs out. Ugh. He just sits up. Just looking out the front door. Wide open. I shut it. I walk around in the back to get my coat. He runs right up to the back door. Hey, you want to let me out? You dummy. I just had the door open for you, Nimrod. Jeez. Anyhow, he's still a good cat. I still love him. Keeping him out a little bit more this winter. And I think he's taken the cue because he's gained about 3 pounds for winter. His coat gets really thick and he widens up and he's really socking away the food. And he's just getting thicker. It's kind of nice. All right. So we still have not got a taker for a pair of tickets to Mitch Gill's Get a Room Comedy Club. That's happening November 10th at the Brentwood. I'm giving you $2. These are $15 tickets, so it's a $30 value. You can have them for free. All you have to do is like Mitch's Fake Radio, share the page, and send a message to the page that says Mitch Gill is awesome with an exclamation point. Is that too much? Am I asking too much? I don't think I'm asking that much. I just want you to do all that stuff, and I will give you a pair of tickets. I have the tickets right here on my person. I'll ride them over to you on my bike. Soon as the show is over here, which is not very long. This hour's just flown by. This has been a great hour. It's really moved along. A couple of things to remind you about. Please check your calendar for November 9th for Solid State Live at the Pix down in Lapeer. That's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to do that show with my friend Diego Atanasio. And I have to reach down here and grab this piece of paper because I forgot the guy's name that's playing the music. Former frontman for the band Salter. That's the name of the band. It's going to be a lot of fun. He's going to be playing live, and his name is Kenneth Pops Jones. So you got comedy from Diego Atanasio and Kenneth Pops Jones providing the music, and I'll do a little bit of stand-up at the beginning and host the whole hour. 7 o'clock, be there for that show. I already talked about my show a lot, so you should definitely be there on November 10th at the Brentwood for my show. It's going to be a blast. Also, this is kind of fun news. Solid State Radio in Lapeer, my friends Sean Cantwell and Adam Harahuk, they are kind of like the gurus down there and sort of run that thing. It's kind of an alternative station, some really neat talk programs, and their music is terrific. So check out solidstateradio.net is how to get to it. And they're airing my show on their my fake radio is on their fake radio because they're putting it on their internet side of the radio station. And I know it aired last Friday night at 7 p.m. So I don't know when it's going to air again, but he said he will get all the episodes caught up. So that's pretty exciting that I'm going to be on Solid State Radio in Lapeer. I haven't been on the radio in Lapeer in 20 years. That's when I left the air down there on Wings 103, back when I used to be a radio DJ. So thanks to my friends Tony and Heather here at Strange Friends Media. I do not ever let them speak on my program, but they are my producers and they have facilitated this. So I really appreciate it. They don't pay me. I do this for free because I'm a great guy and I'm a publicity whore. Is that it? Yeah, I'm a publicity whore, and I like when my name gets said, like Mitch's Fake Radio and Mitch Gill's Get a Room Comedy Club. I love that. That's great. So I get to do all that, and now I'm not only getting paid here, I'm not also getting paid on solidstateradio.net. So that's pretty cool. So this was fun. We had Bernie Comstein. We had Balls. We heard from the gluten-free advisory board. That was really cool. So for sure. And now I think I've just talked my ever living ass off. Yeah, so I don't know. You know, I wanted to. We should probably pull up one of those old ones. Go deep and play something from way back, from early in the collection, like one of the promos from. I don't know. Go deep. See if you can find something there. So I'm still doing my paper route. I'm enjoying that on Saturdays and Sundays. I put my papers into my brand new child's bicycle trailer. I put all the papers in there, and 2 times in a row while doing my paper route, my producer Tony has stopped me in the street, and we've had lengthy conversations while I'm draped over my bicycle. I ride my Bridgestone bicycle for that because I like to
You're
leave.
listening to Barely Supported Mitch's Fake Radio on Strange Friends Media. Barely supported because you haven't done a damn thing to help. Now, back to Mitch's Fake Radio.
That's perfect, Tony. Feel free to play a couple of those if you want while I talk about my bicycle. So I leave the bike trailer hooked to my Bridgestone. That works out really well.
Listening to Mitch's Fake Radio can really help.
Oh yeah, before I found Mitch's Fake Radio, I used to have all kinds of problems and questions about bikes and cats, death, and Netflix and stuff like that. Now I was just doing better. I just ain't got so many questions and stuff no more. I'm doing a lot better. My mind is clearer. I'm sleeping better. I feel better. I think I'm even more regular in the bathroom. I mean, before it was awful. It was real runny and chunky and it was wet sometimes and just not good, and it burned.
Tell your friends they can have a better life too, just like you, if they listen to Mitch's Fake Radio on Strange Friends Media Group.
See, I got to give props to Rachel because she actually listened close enough to that to say that her life is better and she's even more regular in the bathroom. Because of listening to Mitch's Fake Radio. See that, people? I'm changing lives here. I am changing lives. And that's good.
Listening to Mitch's Fake Radio can really help.
Before I started listening to Mitch's Fake Radio, like, my life was in shambles. I lost 12 jobs. I lost 15 of my cats. And, now things are better. I mean, I've got Mr. Fluffy back and Susie and all kinds of different cats. And you should really listen to Mitch's Fake Radio. It will help you too.
Tell your friends they can have a better life too, just like you, if they listen to Mitch's Fake Radio on Strange Friends Media Group.
That's good stuff. I can tell a quick story about marketing for my comedy show. I was out giving out flyers, putting them up around town, and I went to this one business. I put one up and I handed it to the woman and told her about it. I said it's an adult show. It's a lot of fun. And she said, "Oh, I guess I can't bring my 5-year-old then." I said, "No, you probably should." Well, I said, go ahead, bring him. Leave him in the car. I'll get him some dough balls. We'll crack the window. He'll be fine. I'll check on him at halftime. And she says, "I don't know. He actually might fit in pretty good." Because he comes home the other day from school and he says to me, "Hey, Mom, guess what I learned today?" And she says, "What?" And he puts his hand up by his mouth and he goes, "Motherfucker." She's like, "What? Where did you learn that?" He says, "My friend Jason." And she's like, "I guess you're not hanging out with Jason anymore." But I said, actually, I think he would fit in right well with my show. He'd probably do fine there because I actually book a lot of motherfuckers right on my show. So as comedians, so that was fun. I love running into people and talking to them out there in the street and see what's on people's minds when they find out there's a comedy show. And I talk to people that I've never been. I've been meaning to go to the show, but I haven't. And they just come and go and they come and go. And it's like, there's like 20 of them. You gotta do it because this is great entertainment right in your backyard in Carroll right here. And Tony is nodding his head because he's been to several shows and he loves it. So please get tickets. for November 10th. I think we're about done, right? I mean, like, I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. This has been a great time. Had a lot of fun with some pre-production, creating fun and silly things in the production room and to talk about. It was a lot of fun. Hi, Linda. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it. You know who's thanking you? Mitch Gill from Mitch's Fake Radio. The Mitch Gill's Get a Room Comedy Club. And Mitch Gill DJ service. Did anybody get the tickets? Son of a bitch. You people. I tried to give away a pair of free tickets. Oh, well. I'll give them to Strange Friends Media to give away on the Don't Make This Weird podcast, Thursday nights, 8 o'clock, right here